Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my to be read pile for August and September. So before I do get going with my TBR for these next 2 months, my previous TBR, that went pretty well. The only thing I did not finish was this bind up of Jurassic Park. I am done with Jurassic Park itself, but I did not get around to The Lost World just yet. So for this month, I'm going to be finishing up this bind up, and I'm going to be concluding with The Lost World. And seriously, this is so good, you guys. Jurassic Park was so good, just as good as the movie, I think. So hopefully I really enjoy The Lost World, because me personally, I like The Lost World movie. I know a lot of people hate that movie, but I love it. After that, the next book that I would like to read is The Lying Game by Ruth Ware. And I was actually contacted by the publisher asking if I would like a copy of this, because they said something about that they had seen that I had reviewed Ruth Ware's previous book, The Girl in Cabin 10, I believe that one was called, and they were asking if I would like to read this. So I was like, hell yeah. So yeah, I'm going to get around to this. Thank you so much to this company for providing me with this free book. And me trying to summarize this is not going to go well, so I'm going to just read what the summary is here. The text message arrives in the small hours of the night. It's just 3 words. I need you. Isa is that her name Isa? Isa? It's I-S-A. I'm not quite sure how that's pronounced. Isa drops everything, takes her baby daughter, and heads straight to Salton. She spent the most significant days of her life at boarding school on the marshes there, days which still cast their shadow over her. At school, Isa and her 3 best friends used to play the lying game. They competed to convince people of the most outrageous stories. Now, after 17 years of secrets, something terrible has been found on the beach. Something which will force Isa to confront her past, together with the three women she hasn't seen for years, but has never forgotten. Theirs is no cozy reunion. Salton isn't a safe place for them. Not after what they did. It's time for the women to get their story straight. So yeah, this is a vague plot summary, because it seems like this is definitely going to be something about storytelling and truth and reality, it seems like. So I'm very excited to get to this, because yeah, what are these 3 women hiding exactly? What did they do back in their days at boarding school? And next, I have a big series to tackle. At least 2 of these I have read, so 2 of these are going to be rereads, and that's going to be A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Like I said, I've already read this. This is the first book in this series. And then the next book is A Court of Mist and Fury. This will also be a reread. And yeah, I wanted to just reread these first 2 books because the 3rd book just came out this year, A Court of Wings and Ruin. And I'm just really excited to conclude this series. I've really enjoyed this trilogy. The first 2 books were great. Hopefully this 3rd book is just as good. And if you don't know what this series is about, it's a sort of Beauty and the Beast retelling, but done in this fantasy world where the fairies live, and yet follows this young woman who gets wrapped up into this whole thing with the fairies, and she's taken hostage by this fairy prince and whatnot. So yeah, just very, very, very good. And then the next couple books I have here are some smaller books, because yeah, a lot of the books that I have here right now are humongous books, so I have a few smaller books to weave in. So I have The Wolf Princess by Catherine Constable, and this is a middle grade book, and my sister has previously read this book, and she said she liked it. She said it was fine. And yeah, what is this book about exactly? Let's just read the summary for this one as well. Sophie always dreamed of winter, of sparkling snowflakes and silver birch forests, an air so crisp and cold it brought a blush to her cheeks. But Sophie's days in London are filled with rain. Only the friendship of bookish Marianne and glamorous Delphine make it better. Then, as if by magic, the girls find themselves traveling deep into wintry Russia. Abruptly abandoned in a blinding blizzard, they fear for their lives. But just like in a fairy tale, a princess comes to their rescue, the beautiful imperious Anna Volkonskaya, I think is how that's pronounced. I gotta get my Russian on, you guys. Who brings them to a winter palace that was magnificent once upon a time. At first, Sophie is enchanted by Princess Anna's tales of glittering gray diamonds and wild white wolves, but she soon grows concerned. What is her place in the sinister mystery that surrounds the palace, even as the wind and wolves howl outside? Is she in more danger now than she ever was, lost in the snow? So yeah, this sounds like a really cute middle grade story, kind of in almost a fantasy realm. I don't know, because it says she's all of a sudden in Russia, so I don't know. I guess I'll have to figure out what's going on with this book once I read it. Next, I have Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. And I love the movie of this, you guys, with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. I freaking love this movie, so I'm very excited to finally get around to picking this book up. So, yeah, what this book is essentially about, it's about this guy named Pat, who in the movie was played by Bradley Cooper. And, yeah, he has some mental health issues and whatnot, but he runs into this girl named Nikki, who kind of has her own share of dramatic issues. And, yeah, the two of them just kind of teaming up and getting through life together. But, yeah, that's kind of what I remember most about this novel. Yeah, the summary doesn't really give too much away on here, but yeah, this was such a cute movie, and I expect the book to be just as cute. So I do have 7 books, and I think I can squeeze out an 8th book, hopefully, in these 2 months. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick out one mystery book from my TBR box here. And I did not shuffle this earlier. I wish I had shuffled it. I'm going to try to dig all the way to the bottom of this box here. Okay, so I have picked out, if I can find the opening. I've already read this book. It's Rune Marks by Joanne Harris. Let's try that again. And the mystery book that I have picked from my TBR box is... Ooh! I have Black Widow Forever Read by Margaret Stoll. And if you can't already guess, this is about Black Widow, you know, from the Marvel universe and whatnot. And I'm not quite sure where this book takes place exactly. Like, if it's following Natasha Romanoff from kind of a young age. I don't know, because it says here, Natasha Romanoff is one of the world's most lethal assassins. Trained from a young age in the arts of death and deception, Natasha was given the title of Black Widow by Ivan Samodorov, her brutal teacher at the Red Room, Moscow's infamous academy for operatives. So yeah, I'm not quite sure of the placement. I'm guessing this is prior to like even Iron Man 2, perhaps, you know? I don't know. I guess I'll find out when I read this book. But yeah, I'm very excited to get into this. I love Black Widow, and it'd be kind of cool to see another story about her. So this is my TBR, you guys, and this is very heavy, mostly because of this Jurassic Park bind-up down here. This book is humongous. Yeah, let's put this down. I do have hopes that I will finish this pile. I'm very happy with this pile. I got a good bit of diversity here. So you guys, in the comments below, have you guys read any of these books? Which one of these are you excited for me to get to? So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.